And we're back with the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. The show is being brought to you by the fine folks over at Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us, Fearless Social, and Poplar Bluff Drywall. Sabrina is going to take a little bit of a break for this next segment. That's okay. We got Laura, we got Chris. We are ready to review our next film, and this film is called, just plainly, Max. And Max is about a service dog, right?
Yes. Military service dog.
Military service dog. He is over in Afghanistan or Iraq?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, it was during it looks to be, one of those, of course.
Right.
But the guy he works with, his handler or whatever, this guy, he has him from a pup, and he's like sniffs out weapons, bombs, that kind of stuff to help the soldiers clear the area before they go through.
Yeah.
His owner gets killed, and he gets sent back to the United States, and the story is honestly not about the owner, it's about the owner's family. And his younger brother, who's very bitter, has a chip on his shoulder. He's younger. He's probably about 15.
He's very against pretty much everything. He rebels against everything. The military, I guess a lot of his brother's actions, his family's actions, stuff like that. And he's just an angry teenager.
Sarcastic teenager, yes, absolutely. But the dog comes home to the funeral for his brother. The military men bring it to the funeral, and the dog connects with the younger brother instantly.
Yeah.
And not on a real deep level at first, but just there's a connection. And the story goes on to where the boy, he's very reluctant. He doesn't want anything to do with the dog. He's just kind of like, oh, whatever, And but he grows to have a relationship with it, and it's a good thing because the dog does huge things for their family as you go throughout the show. But this movie is... I remember when I was a kid watching, Old Yeller and The Incredible Journey.
And Savage Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I like it, I think a lot of young kids, too, they like to see an animal in a hero position. Mm-hmm. And this dog was a hero. And, I mean, this isn't a true story, but... it has to remind you that they show throughout in the beginning or the end of the movie, they show that there have been thousands of service dogs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's something that people really aren't that aware of, that, our men and women definitely, and that's the most important thing. They're over there serving their country for us. But, our canine friends, it's so many people across the country. We love our pets, and there's a lot of dogs that are over there, and they work just as hard to help keep our freedom and our liberties and stuff, just like our soldiers do. And this show kind of highlighted that. And these dogs are well trained and they're very loyal. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't be able to have the position that they do.
And you can also see that some of these animals had a lot of these stress issues that a lot of our service men and women have after coming back from war. There was this scene where I guess it was the 4th of July and the dog was caged up, and the young man, I guess, realized that this was a possibility, and he ran all the way back from the 4th of July festivities to sleep with the dog, and I guess to nurture it through the long 4th of July ceremony. Watching this film, I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. I'm not necessarily into a lot of dog movies. I mean, there's a few here and there that I like, but for the most part, I'm into my gangster movies and stuff like that. So the dog movies are my first choice. But, I like this film. I thought, which I was actually kind of surprised about, because I thought this was going to be like, oh, Max, whatever. But I did like the film. But there were a few parts that were a little bit too Hallmark Hall of Fame for me.
I agree on that.
But there's a lot of serious issues that are going on in this film, man. The little brother is dealing with some bad cats, some drug dealers and gun dealers, and it gets pretty serious, man.
Yeah, it does.
But, there's a lot of good action sequences. There's a lot of good adventure. There's a little bit of a romance with the younger brother and the young girl who helps, I guess, kind of train Max. And so all in all, I think it's a pretty darn good film.
Yeah, I really liked it. I showed it to Noah, my nephew. He watched it, and he really liked it. It's got a little bit of violence in it and maybe a little bit of language. I think, was it PG-13 or was it PG? I can't remember. But little kids, I wouldn't say maybe take them to see it. It's got, I mean, because there's, I don't know, it's maybe just a little bit too much for them. But your teenager, 11, 12, easy. It's a good movie for somebody like that age to watch.
I would agree with that. I don't see a rating on here, but I do remember there was some mild language and you know some mild violence and stuff like that. The one thing that did bother me in this film, are you ready for this? The one thing that bothered me was the mustache of Thomas Hayden Church. That was the worst mustache I've ever seen in my life.
I know. Noah, actually, it's so funny that you say that because I watched this with Noah. He looked at, he was watching that and he looked at me and he goes, "What's on his face?" It was completely terrible.
And I love him as an actor. I think he's awesome.
I love him in Wings.
I know, Wings. What was the name of his character in Wings? It was something goofy. Lowell. Yeah,
Lowell,
something like
Lowell?
that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he was so good in that. But the man cannot grow facial hair.
No, it was terrible. It looked like Angelina Jolie dressed up as a man. It was terrible.
And, of course, he plays the father of the serviceman and the main young man in the story. And he plays the father. Lauren Graham plays the mother, and I thought
Gilmore Girls.
From Gilmore Girls, and I thought they both did a fantastic job. I like both of those actors very, very much. But all in all, good acting. A little bit of, I don't want to say hokey, but Hallmarky Hall of Fame kind of emotion to it. But just a little bit. I think all in all, it's a good film, and I think it's a family film that most people will like.
Yeah, absolutely. All
right. The movie is called Max. And remember, for all reviews, you can go to our website at www.screenteampb.com. That's screenteampb.com. We'll be back with Laura and Sabrina. We're going to review Pan. That's next on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.